And this is just kind of a banterizing take on the weather. Neither of us is a meteorologist.
Nor do we claim
So
to even be.
Right. I have never studied meteors, asteroids. I played asteroids. Does that count?
I heard you played asteroids.
That's what I just said. Do you have asteroids?
No, I was talking about you playing with asteroids. Forget it.
What?
I don't know where that came from.
That's me neither.
I don't know.
Me neither.
I don't know.
But that's not getting edited, so if that weirdness stays in.
The tinfoil hat
Okay,
does
so-
fucking fuck up your brain sometimes.
I will tell
Wow.
you something. Can I? If I didn't think that it would just basically turn us into receivers, I would line every hat that I own with tinfoil. If I thought that it would
Pick up those
do
5G waves.
something oh.
That's killing. Was it
Well,
killing the wild
okay.
pigs out at the
Now,
Olympics?
all right. So
Come on.
yeah, well, it's not killing them. It's meant to drive them off. So I mean, what we saw was maybe a little bit embellished.
Well, let's not get off track too much. Let's just say,
Well,
5G definitely could also affect the weather as well. And I think definitely the way the weather's been lately, where we are right now. I mean, we were just talking about it earlier. In January, it was cold. I mean, it was bone-chilling cold. We were going down below zero a few times.
it's actually something.
You know, and
I had problems with the cooling system, with the heating cooling system in my vehicle, one of my
Yep.
vehicles in the truck. I know a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Because of the strain that below zero weather constantly will put on a.
Yeah, the car. That's why people up in like Michigan, up in that area, you got to figure, even upstate New York, where they get a lot of cold, a lot of snow, they go through cars up there because it takes a beating on the engine and everything. Below zero temperatures, you're gonna sit there, you're gonna go your car. I mean, you can't tell me any of the liquids in that car are not gonna freeze up. I'm sorry, but I mean below zero temperature, and then what happens in the morning? You get in your car, you start it up. Most people don't go out there and start the car. They go walk in the house. They usually just get in their car and they go. And they're screwing their car up like that even more.
Well, I mean, honestly, people should know better.
Well, there are people out there that don't. I always let my car run for a couple minutes and then that's it. If it's not that cold up to like 40s or 50s, again, then give it about 30 seconds and I take off.
Well, and
That's what it is, but.
you wait for the RPMs to back down.
Yeah.
You
You wait for that,
know
yeah.
that the engine is straining less, and then you go.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait for the revving of the
even
engine.
5 minutes is better than just starting it and going.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens. We're on auto maintenance. We started off, we're going to talk
Well,
about
no,
the weather.
we're talking about the effects of what weather has on different systems.
Yeah,
You
I'll
know,
tell you.
but it also has an effect even on the human system too.
That's what I was just going to say is, and yes, it has something to do with age. I know that, but the cold affects me more now than it ever used to.
Oh yeah.
And I got to put this out there, but I have noticed that I am generally in more pain. And
Yeah, in the winter.
Well, not only that,
This
but
winter-
on days and weeks when there's heavy spraying,
You're really feeling it.
I will tell you, I have definitely noticed the difference.
Well, I got arthritis all over. I got arthritis. My whole right side of my body is from my leg to my ankle, my elbow, my shoulder. Well, at least my elbow, it's my shoulder. And my left side, my left elbow's got a little arthritis. I got a little arthritis on my back. There are days when I just don't feel it, and there are days when I'm sitting there and it's like debilitating. You don't even want to get up. You got to push yourself to even get up. It's like, what the fuck? I go and walk. It's like knees cracking, feels like it's going to give out from under me. Ankle feels like it's going to give out. It's really stiff. It's like, oh, I can't even walk on this damn thing. And then, when it gets warmer out, things loosen up a bit, and that's great. But this bitter cold has definitely affected me a lot this year as far as my arthritis. And then with all the rain that's come the past week or so, that's hasn't helped either.
Yeah. Well,
We got a shitload of. If all that rain was snow, we would have had like a couple of feet. So we're lucky.
yes, we are.
And it's going to go up into the 60s. Like it wasn't hit 60 once this week, and they've been pretty much dropped down to the 50s and 40s, with like a day or two like in the 30s somewhere thrown in. But you know what? That's fine. I remember a few years ago we had that, but it was more like you had a big block of all of January and February was cold and snowy, and then you get towards the end of February and then it started warming up a bit, and in March it warmed up. But that was also 2000. What was it? 2010 when we had the flood.
Right.
You know, I'll tell you, keep on. We could get, if we, I don't think we'll get to that point unless we have a lot of snow in the winter, and then we get a lot of rain to take it down, and it raises those riverbanks. We'll have a problem, but I don't think we'll have a problem
last
this
year,
time.
There was a lot of concern with the spring runoff in the Oroville Dam. Now,
California.
Now, a lot of people don't realize how that will affect the food supply for the whole country. It's about 25% of our food is from that Northern California area.
It would just wipe it right out.
Right. That's like their main, shipping. Basically, it'll shut down a lot of traffic coming out of that part of the country.
Yeah.
And it would affect all of us. Maybe not immediately, but within a matter of weeks, if not days.
We would definitely feel the shortage.
I think the bottom line. Excuse me. I think the bottom line is whatever you believe the cause is. There are definitely some changes going on in the earth that we're not fully prepared for.
No.
When you have snow in the Sahara Desert,
that's weird.
North Africa,
Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
Saudi Arabia had snow.
Now these are some of the hottest, driest places on Earth.
How about the river in Russia? Flowed blood red.
Did they ever get that test back?
I haven't heard anything back on that.
I haven't heard yet.
Usually that's an algae kill, though, isn't it? Something like that. That's what they blame the China one on. Years ago, remember China? What was it? The river in China was some major city in China. The whole river was red. It says something about algae.
Well, I don't think even if it came back blood, do you think that they would tell us?
They wouldn't tell you at all.
And China's the kind of place where they could keep that quiet.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
Russia would be able to keep it quiet too, though.
Probably. Well, Russian citizens seem to have, there's a lot out on the internet that comes from Russia, and they have a lot more freedom than places like China or North Korea. And even China is,
Look, compared to North Korea, you can't see nothing out of North Korea. It's like locked up.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah. We got the weather over here, so let's stick to the weather right now. But,
yep.
in all honesty, there is definitely a truth to climate change, but the whole thing it comes down to is it's not what the liberals are trying to jam down your throat. It's what's being made to happen by our own government, by the powers that be, that want things to change.
And even, we say government, and, we kind of think of this, big entity, really kind of, faceless, doesn't really... There are specific people in positions in the government who are able to do this and keep it off the radar completely, keep it out of the
high level,
out of the press,
high level members of the government that are able to do it. CIA, NSA.
If nothing else, if people can at least start paying attention. You know,
Look at all the earthquakes. Everywhere you go, every day. Every day there's a quake somewhere, it seems like. There's always something
well,
going. There's more and more
you
things
know,
going on.
because you know, that was news a few months ago.
Like, how about
That
meteors now
that
falling?
well, all right,
You
know,
a lot of
they
fireballs in the
say that
sky
the Earth
now.
has slowed down a fraction of a second. We
Yeah.
talked about that a little bit. That's gonna have an effect. You know, if there's an actual magnetic pole shift, which you know, it has happened throughout the history of Earth,
World,
supposedly, but not during recorded human history where we can look at it and say this is how it affected civilizations. You know what I mean?
Well,
We have no
civilization's
idea.
not here anymore.
Well,
That's the problem.
yeah.
Whatever was here is not here then. What was here then is not here now. So was it something that was just a total complete life-ending life-ending event?
Come on,
Extinction level event.
Yep.
Is it an ELE?
Yep.
Who knows?
Word up to
We'll find out.
Tia Leone
Yep.
on that one.
Yes. There you go.
Uh,
Something good came out of Hollywood for that one. Just that quote.
okay. Well, I don't know if you know, I can't point to Tia Leone and say anything.
Well, no, it was actually the script writers, but whatever. Let's not be technical too much about it. Was it
Yeah,
Simpsons
it's
the
too
one that
late.
said it,
We already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, too technical. Anyway, is that it? I'm gonna cut it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right.